There is a common belief in online business that fear around raising prices is simply a confidence issue. If you hesitate to charge more, if you second guess your rates, if you worry people will stop buying, then the assumption is that you just need to believe in yourself more. More confidence, more certainty, more mindset work. But the fear many women feel around pricing is not just psychological. Very often it's structural because pricing does not exist in isolation. Pricing lives inside the ecosystem of the business. It sits inside the positioning, inside the clarity of the offer, inside the trust the audience already has, inside the pathway that leads buyers to the decision. When these elements are strong, price increases feel like refinement. When they are weak, price increases feel like risk. Earlier in my own business, I remember assuming that the discomfort around pricing meant I simply needed to push myself harder, that if I just forced the increase, the confidence would eventually flow. But what I eventually realized was that my hesitation was pointing to something deeper. Parts of the ecosystem still needed strengthening because when an offer is clearly positioned, when the audience understands the value of the work, when the pathway from discovery to purchase feels natural, pricing stops feeling like a gamble. It becomes an alignment. This is where the nervous system enters the conversation. If the business depends on a small number of sales to survive each month, every price decision feels heavy. The body interprets the increase as potential instability. If people say no, what happens to revenue? If fewer buyers come in, what happens to the business? The nervous system begins to treat pricing as a threat rather than a refinement. And that pressure makes the increase feel far more dangerous than it actually is. This is why pricing conversations always circle back to identity. A woman operating from worker identity often prices from effort, how much time she spends, how much hard work she puts in, how much she delivers. But a woman building digital wealth prices from architecture. She understands that price reflects positioning inside the ecosystem. It reflects the clarity of the transformation. It reflects the role of the offer plays. It reflects the role the offer plays inside the broader structure of the business. This is where feminine leadership becomes visible. Feminine leadership in digital business is not about forcing yourself to charge more while still feeling uncertain. It is about refining the ecosystem until the price makes sense. It is the calm authority of knowing where your work sits. It is the self possession to hold a standard without over explaining it. And as the ecosystem strengthens, something subtle begins to change. The offer becomes clearer. The audience becomes more aligned. The pathway to the sale becomes smoother. And the number attached to the offer stops feeling like a fragile decision. It begins feeling like a reflection of the structure behind the work. Because digital wealth is not created by randomly increasing prices. It is created by building an ecosystem strong enough to hold the value of what you offer. And when that ecosystem matures, pricing stops feeling like a risk. It becomes part of the architecture of wealth.